Do you need to be in union to already be doing the mission that you guys are going to be doing together? And I would say no. Not the short answer is no. And not only do you not need your beloved to be doing your mission, if you keep thinking like that you need to be together already to be doing your mission, you will never get into union. Okay, this is the missing piece that is blocking a lot of you from getting into union. You have to be doing the mission already. You have to be doing the work that God sent you here to do. You have to be activating your templates, your gifts that are your birthright, okay? They're your soul's blueprint that God gifted you with to do on this planet for your beloved to even recognize you. And for you to they have to be doing theirs for you to recognize them. But we're literally at the most exciting nexus point when it comes to humanity's next shift in consciousness. Okay, we could either shift things into a dystopian hellscape, okay, and we'll be plugged in and microchipped and, you know, with nanotech in our bodies and watching an Oculus and trying to escape from the nightmare outside, eating bugs in our little tiny rooms, getting everything sent to our doorstep, owning nothing and being happy as pigs in shit. Or we can be living our purpose, free and abundant, living in community, living in communion with the land, living off the earth, growing our own food, drinking clean water, breathing in clean air, making love with our beloved and doing our missions, being creative, having fun, helping people heal, whatever it is that you're here to do. We can literally manifest Eden on this planet, or we can allow their reptilian beast system, transhumanist AI timeline to completely take over. So one of the things that I hear from clients from time to time is that they need their union, like they need their beloved, they need their genetic equal, their twin flame. I really don't like using the term twin flame, but a lot of people know it as a twin flame, in order to do their mission, okay? And I need to speak to this today because there's some misconceptions in that type of thinking that is holding you back from your union. Okay, so let's discuss. Okay, do you need to be in union to already be doing the mission that you guys are going to be doing together? And I would say no. Not the short answer is no. And not only do you not need your beloved to be doing your mission, if you keep thinking like that you need to be together already to be doing your mission, you will never get into union. Okay, this is the missing piece that is blocking a lot of you from getting into union, thinking that you need the other person and that you need to find them, and you're not going to start doing your mission until you find them. And here's why. Okay, basically, let me take a sip of water. Got to be hydrated before we drop the message. It's not piss. It could be, but it's not. It's like a effervescent vitamin C supplement. Here's why, okay? You have to be doing the mission already. You have to be doing the work that God sent you here to do. You have to be activating your templates, your gifts that are your birthright, okay? They're your soul's blueprint that God gifted you with to do on this planet for your beloved to even recognize you. And for you to they have to be doing theirs for you to recognize them. Okay, and for you to even be moving in the same orbit and the same circles. Okay, that's the long and short of it. You can probably dip out now because that's the main message. Okay, but obviously we need to go into it a little bit more because how do you know what that is? Because if you're not already doing it and you don't know who you are, you don't know what your mission is yet, you're still, navigating all the various different psyops and overlays that get thrown at us. Okay, by overlays, I basically mean, how do I explain it in a way that you could understand? An overlay is basically something that hooks into your light body that blocks your higher self wisdom from coming in. And your higher self wisdom is basically what has access to all those templates that are your natural blueprints and your natural gifts that you're here to share with the world. An overlay is basically like an interfacing system that hooks into a wound in the light body that blocks that higher self wisdom from coming in. Okay, so as you're navigating and clearing those, and they come in the form of all kinds of things like survival programs, poverty programs, limiting beliefs. They can, sometimes I've pulled them out of people, and, you can see like memories, okay, imprints of, or like hear like the voice of, a teacher, or the voice of one of your parents or somebody growing up saying, you can't do that. That's not going to make money. That's not what, that never works. When it comes to what you came here to do, okay? We're at such an interesting choice point right now, okay? I know it feels like a dystopian hellscape out there, but we're literally at the most exciting nexus point when it comes to humanity's next shift in consciousness. Okay, we could either shift things into a dystopian dystopian hellscape, okay, and we'll be plugged in and microchipped and with nanotech in our bodies and watching an Oculus and trying to escape from the nightmare outside, eating bugs in our little tiny rooms, getting everything sent to our doorstep, owning nothing and being happy as pigs in shit. Or we can be living our purpose, free and abundant, living in community, living in communion with the land, living off the earth, growing our own food, drinking clean water, breathing in clean air, making love with our beloved and doing our missions, being creative, having fun, helping people heal, whatever it is that you're here to do. Okay, that's the choice point that we're at. Okay, we can literally manifest new earth. I know that's a bit of a new agey term, but there's a lot of truth in some of those. There's a reason why a lot of those new age codes that got fed to us by a lot of the people that were serving the enemy were so seductive. It's because there was truth in them. Okay, we can literally manifest Eden on this planet, or we can allow their reptilian beast system, transhumanist AI timeline to completely take over. And this is the choice point that we're at now. Okay. Where was I? I'm just trying to think where I'm at. Now, how do we know what is our mission? How do we know? How do we get clear on that? Okay, it is hard. I will admit it is hard, and it's taken me many years to ground into what I'm doing. Okay, yes, I've been doing it for many years and have been able to access those higher streams for many years, but it does take time to actually ground it into the physical and take action on the mission, okay? Because it involves clearing a lot of negative belief systems around what you're supposed to do. It involves making a decision that you are going to do what you're here to do, okay? And that involves a lot of courage, okay? Activating the sacred masculine principle of courage, because we're told by parents and siblings and teachers and other people's limiting beliefs and society, we're programmed with this idea that we have to serve the matrix, we have to do this, we have to do that for safety, for security. And for a long time, I don't want to say that was true, okay, because there were a lot of people that were living their dreams and were living their gifts and were doing the type of things that God put you here to do as well, okay, and were making it work. But we're getting to a point now where it's going to become harder and harder for us to survive, for you to survive, by ignoring your mission, okay, and continually choosing the safer, more secure path, okay. The security that was promised to us is not assured anymore, okay? We're at a point where AI is literally replacing humans to do a lot of the things that you were really not put here to do. Like, yes, you can do them and you're good at them. And yes, some of them might be, they might correspond to an actual template that you might actually hold, but there might be so many more templates that are part of your soul's blueprint that still need to be activated within your light body for you to be fully showing up as your truest you. Okay. And if you haven't activated those templates, you might feel like that's blocking everything in your life, okay? It's blocking your true abundance. You might be okay right now, you might be surviving, you might be getting by, but you're not really making the type of money that you need to thrive. And it's not just about money, okay? You might not be receiving the abundance, okay? Let me correct myself. You might not be receiving the type of abundance that you need to really thrive, okay? And abundance comes, it's much more multidimensional than just the numbers in your bank account, okay? It's about the spaces that you exist in, the spaces that you have access to. It's about the type of food that you have access to, the food that you can eat. It's about being able to wake up every day without an alarm clock and decide exactly how you're going to spend every hour of your day, okay? To me, that's true abundance, that's true luxury. Okay, and I have been able to live that life for the last few years. So if you're not fully showing up and doing your mission, or you're just kind of doing it, but just not really doing it in a very loud way, in a way that basically sends out the signal for your beloved to recognize you and to hear that call, then you might find that it's blocking your union and it's keeping you in karmic interfaces with the wrong people for you, okay? People that are like close but not quite, or people that waste your fucking time, people that are actually like, they know that you're not the one, and deep down you know that they're not the one too, but you guys are getting some benefit, you're getting some comfort from the relationship, but you know that this is not really your person. This is not the person that you can truly do God's work here on this planet. And that's going to liberate you, the both of you, and the communities that you serve, and your bloodline, your descendants for generations to come. Okay? And we're at the choice point now where we just have to start doing it. We have to start doing it. Let's discuss some of the common things that can block your mission. Okay? Generally, I would say one of the biggest things that blocks people from doing their mission is confidence, okay? Confidence around, and confidence, and it's not just confidence, it's confidence and permission, okay? They haven't seen other examples of other people doing the thing. And the reason why a lot of the time you haven't seen examples of people doing the thing is because nobody's supposed to do what you do. You're supposed to do what you do, only you can do it. And that's why you haven't seen examples of other people doing that. And yeah, this is it, okay? Because with AI, they're trying to replicate what humans do. It's basically like an algorithm generating machine where it hybridizes the collective and churns it out into whatever it is that you're trying to get it to do. But AI can't replicate you. It can't, because your blueprint is completely unique to you. And yes, you might have some templates in common with other people. Okay, we all do. Okay, that I've worked with many clients and seen some of the same templates activating again and again and again, because some of us do hold similar codes. And that's usually a sign that those are the people that you're supposed to be collaborating with to bring about whatever it is that you're here to do, because some of us aren't supposed to be working solo. So yes, I get what people are saying, that you need the union to do the mission. Yeah, okay? Because once the union comes in, both of you will start amplifying in the mission. Okay, but you also got to bear in mind that when you get into union, there's a lot that needs to be cleared and healed through the union, and some of that does also there's a lot of limiting beliefs that both of you were implanted in that then get amplified once you get into the union. And we'll talk about, I can do a whole separate video talking about that, because that's a really deep subject. Okay, for some of you who smash the like button if you want me to talk about that, because that's if you're getting into union, or if you recently got into union, you might be navigating some of that. It can be quite chaotic if both of you have got a lot of limiting beliefs around what you're both supposed to be doing, because new templates do start getting activated when you get into union. Okay. Limiting beliefs is another big one. Okay, I know it's all sounding very similar. Confidence and permission. You haven't seen somebody else do it. Okay, if you have a limiting belief that what you're here to do isn't going to make money, and so you don't go ahead and do it, then of course it's not going to make money, because you're not even doing it. Do you know what I mean? But if you actually, and I'm not saying that when you start the first time you do the first thing, like let's say for example you're a artist that makes pottery. Okay, this is just really random. I know, I'm not saying that this is I've got clients that do stuff in like engineering or like in medicine. They're working with like frequency medicine and like new technologies that are going to heal people. Okay, I got clients who are lawyers, okay, and they're pioneering new legislation and policy that's going to help liberate people. Okay, they're working for the collective and not just for the beast system, okay, and for the oligarchs at the top ruling humanity. So everybody's doing stuff that's really, really unique, okay? I get that within the left brain patriarchal paradigm, if you're doing something like that, it can feel kind of easier. Like for those people, it can yes and no, okay? Because I do see the clients in, corporate, clients who I have who are in corporate or legal or policy, a lot of them really, really struggle with being part of the system, okay? Even though they're supposed to be there because they're supposed to be pioneering new ways of existing within that space, okay? And some of them feel like they need to completely exit that space and do other things. But it's not that they're supposed to be doing other things. It's that other templates that they hold are supposed to come in and be activated so that they can do what they're doing, but in a bigger way, and bring through all those other templates into what they're doing, into something that's more expansive and more helpful, and liberate humanity, okay? Because it unites both the left brain, the masculine, and the right brain, feminine, being in community, being in communion with the earth, okay? Being about care and compassion, and about, respecting Mother Nature, respecting humanity, respect for animals, respect for nature. And people who are in those systems can really struggle with that, okay? But if you're more on the right brain side of things, maybe you're an artist, a creative, which historically, because of suppression of the divine feminine, the feminine principle, and a lot of those feminine arts, a lot of people in those disciplines have been very underpaid and undervalued, or they've had to basically sell their soul to the man and work for companies doing, use their gifts in ways that they don't necessarily agree with, okay? And I understand that very well, okay? If you're new here, I've worked as a model for 20 years, and I've also worked in many parallel creative industries like styling and content creation and photography and graphic design and things like that. So it can be difficult, okay, because we've been taught that the way that we make money is by making money for other people who have more money and then getting paid by them. But that has been the paradigm that we've inherited, okay, because of enslavement of the human race. to basically these ancient Babylonian cults. But with the new changes that are coming, we can actually leverage some of those things that are being released right now to actually break free from that system. Right now, yeah, I know a lot of people are very, very hesitant about AI, and for good reason. Okay, it's scary, a lot of the things that we're seeing with AI right now, and a lot of people have been very skeptical about social media for a long time, and again, with good reason. Okay, because it is making us more stupid. It is ruining our attention span. Like, I haven't read a book cover to cover in a long time. Actually, it's kind of embarrassing to admit, but I recently got a bunch of books, and I'm trying to get back into reading. But yeah, we are so distracted, we are so adrenalized, we are so overwhelmed right now, and so I get that a lot of people are logging off and trying to be more in the real world, and that's amazing. And I do think that we should be switching off more and more and trying to balance our time. But at the same time, these technologies have democratized things to a massive level. There are now more millionaires and billionaires than we've ever seen in history before. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that everybody should go and become a millionaire or a billionaire, and I don't think that we need to be in order to experience abundance and luxury. Okay, like when I talk about luxury, I'm not talking about it from like a capitalistic sense. Okay, to me, luxury is a luxury of time. Luxury being able to like play with your kids whenever you want, like being able to hang out in community, like being able to drink clean water, and eat organic food and wear like natural fibers, handmade clothes. You know, that's, to me, that's luxury. The point that I'm making is that there's never been a better time for you to actually start stepping into your soul's blueprint. And it is how things are going to be going forward. It is going to decide who is able to survive the shifts that we're going through over the next few years. Okay, who takes this opportunity and this choice point to step up into their divine mission and purpose on this planet and guides the way for others. And that's how we get free. Okay, that's how we basically do a timeline jump from the dystopian hellscape that they have planned for us, the AI transhumanist timeline, to living in community, living in harmony with nature, being at one with the land, respecting animals, respecting humanity, respecting nature, and doing the art that God put. And when I say art, you know, for some of you that's sciences, okay, but there's a magic, there's an alchemy that happens when your art and science meet. Okay, I know that sounds, I'll explain that in another video. Okay, that's going really deep right now. But what you're here to do is bridging all of your different talents. Okay, it's left brain and right brain coming together. It's alchemy, it's divine union. And when you start to feel the union and the alchemy within both your intuitive, the creative gifts that come from your higher self wisdom, and ground that into the body and take action with courage. Okay, that is the Shakti meets Shiva, the Sophia meets Christ, divine union. When that divine union starts to happen in the temple of your body, it starts to magnetize your divine union to you. Okay, because they start to recognize you, and they cannot help but be magnetized to you. And then there's no competition with anyone else. No one can replace you. Okay, that unions starts to become very stable. Okay, obviously there's work that you have to do once you get into union to clear overlays and traumas that you might have picked up from life and from whatever you've been through, or previous relationships, karmic interfaces that you weren't supposed to be in. But that's also part of the work and part of the medicine that we need to do to help each other get free. So if this transmission resonated with you, I want to invite you into my new group healing container that I've just launched. I'm so excited to bring this to you guys. I want very, very aligned. It's for women only. I'm so sorry to the men right now. I know that some of y'all have been loyal supporters of mine for a while. This offering is just for women, okay? We will be working on more co-ed spaces and men's spaces as well. There is something that we're kind of planning. We'll see if it aligns, okay? But this is not that, okay? This one is just for women. Okay, so if you've been feeling like a resonance with what the medicine that I've been bringing forth, and you want to work on this on a deeper layer, if you want to shift something that hasn't been shifting, and you're ready to step into this and ready to align with your highest timeline and take action on this, come and join me. It's called A Space to Be Held. The link is in the description, and you can send an application form, and I'll hope to see you in there. All right, peace out. One love, guys.